Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the ITA online portal webinar. My name is Mariska van Heerden. I'm the project manager at ITA, and I had the privilege to lead the development of the updated portal. And I'm very excited that you're here. I'm excited to show you all the updates that we've made. I'm excited to show you how you can use these features within your business and hopefully make things a little bit easier for you. Right. So I'm going to start off by saying that the portal was never designed to replace classroom training or practical training. It was only designed to enhance the learning process. So it's there to simplify your admin, it's there to better prepare your learners, and it's there to support the blended learning process. So during today's webinar, we're going to follow a complete learner journey. So from the learner registering straight through to the learner capturing the learner results, and then obviously uploading all the documentation that goes with it. So I'm going to start off by saying so once you've logged onto the portal, the first thing that you will be seeing is the dashboard. So the dashboard is just a quick overview of the portal activities. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them, but what I will say is that you'll notice that the statistics will update automatically as you start using the portal. So what I would like to mention is that there's a couple of tabs there in the middle. So it says download learner guide, download the assessor guide, and then download the manual order forms. So obviously the learner guide is just a step-by-step guide for your learners, so that they know how to use the portal. Then there's the assessor guide, which explains the marking process and how you give feedback to your learner. And then obviously the last one is the download the manual order form. So that's just a quick button. If you're running out of manuals, you just quickly download that form, complete it, and then you send it to the dispatch department to make sure that your stock is up and running again. And then right at the bottom, you're going to see it says no courses loaded. What I would like to mention is that those tabs that's there, the three tabs that's there, are all role-based access. So if you don't see the learner guide, it means that you are not loaded as an assessor or as a learner onto the portal. If you don't see the assessor guide, it means that you're not loaded as as an assessor on the portal. And if it doesn't show that there's a manual order form, it means that you're not loaded as a data capturer or a responsible person on the portal. So if you think that you should be seeing any of those and you don't, just send us an email. I'm sure one of the friendly staff members will be able to assist you there. All right, then at the bottom there where it says no courses loaded. So if you see that, it means that you are loaded as an assessor on the portal, or as a learner on the portal, but you don't have any manuals linked to your name. So you're going to notice that once you load a learner onto the portal, which I'll get to a little bit later, you have to allocate a manual to that learner. If you don't do that, this is what the learner will see. So it's going to show that there's no courses loaded, which I'll explain to you a little bit later how you would do that. So we'll start off by, so once you're done with dashboard, you're going to go to profile. So you're going to see profile on the left hand side. This is where, so this gives you the opportunity to update your own information. So you can update your contact details, your personal information. We've just given previously what we did is we gave you a form to complete all of this, and we all know that paperwork is not everybody's favorite thing to do. So we've now given you the opportunity to do this online. It makes things a whole lot easier for both you and for us. If you update this, it ensures that all your information is current, and it just makes communication from our offices to your site a whole lot easier. And then the next one, you're going to click on learners. So this is the section where all your learners that you've ever captured on the portal, everything will be listed here. So from here you'll be able to search, view, update anything that you need to do with your learner database. This is where the SOCWA compliant database comes in. So this is your entire database of learners. The very nice thing about this, you'll notice that it says their email address. So I'll show you a little bit later as well. When you can pull a report off of the portal. So you have a list of all the email addresses of all your learners. So if you have things running, like for example, let's say you have a gun shop and you have a special running, you can use those email addresses to send specials. Maybe you can use the numbers to create WhatsApp groups. So it's a very nice tool that you can use for marketing purposes, but obviously to keep you compliant with regards to the SOCWA database. This makes things a whole lot easier. Alright, so here you can view and update learner information. You're going to do that by clicking on the edit button. You're going to see there's a small little button on the side where it says action. There's a small tab there that says edit. So when you're going to click on that, it's going to take you through to this page. So from here you can update any learner information. So cell phone number, email address, anything that you update here. If anything changes for the learner, you can update it here. And then the very nice thing about this is you can declare the learner competent or not competent. So when you click on that drop down button, it's going to give you a competent or a not yet competent option. So let's say that your learner is not competent. What will happen is, let's say the learner is competent or not competent with the shoot. So what will happen is you, in the note section, you're going to make a little note for yourself to say learner needs to reshoot, let's say handgun, and then let's say in 10 months, 12 months down the line, the learner comes back and he wants to know what he needs to do to be found competent. You just go to this section and it gives you a little explanation of the reason why the learner is not competent. So rather than going into your drawer of portfolios to see why the learner is not competent, you just use this to make it a little bit easier down the line. Okay, so the next one that we'll do is obviously adding a learner. So what we'll do here is we'll do it live. We'll jump to that section now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work through a real life example here. So let's imagine John Smith. He contacted your training center and he wants to book for a handgun course. So he's paid for his training. You now have to register him on the portal, give him access to all the resources, and then I'm going to take you through all the steps of the learner journey. So let's jump to the portal. Okay, so from here, you're obviously going to log in. I have already preloaded the learner or the assessor details here, just to make things a little bit easier. Alright, so we'll go to learners. Like I said, this is our list of learners. That's the database of learners that we have. What will happen is you're going to say create a learner. You're going to click on that little button there. And then you're going to choose an ID type, so exactly like the PFTC system. You're going to either choose a passport number, an ID number. Obviously for this purposes, we're going to choose ID number. You're going to include you're going to capture the learner's ID number. You're going to include that there. You're going to include his name, his surname, his telephone number there at the bottom, and then his email address. So the moment you, so as soon as you've captured all of this, all of these information that's on here, you're going to click submit. What I do need to mention here is the moment you click submit, the learner will get an automatic notification to say that he's been loaded on the portal. And this notification will give the learner the login details. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second. So this is what it will look like. So this is what the learner will see on his side. The very nice thing about this is that it happens automatically, so you don't have to send anything at the moment you've captured your learner. He gets this notification. But what I do need to mention here, and this is quite important, is that the information must be accurate. So let's say, for example, you've loaded the learner and you've accidentally used the wrong ID number. The learner won't be able to log in because, like you know, or like exactly like you log into the portal now, if your ID number is incorrect, that's the password. So if the ID number was captured incorrectly, the learner won't be able to log in. Or if you use the wrong email address, the learner won't receive this welcome email. So what will happen? If you made a mistake, just send us an email and we'll make sure that the information is correctly captured on our side. So just give us the learner ID number and all of that, and then we'll update it on our side, and we'll make sure that the learner gets his welcome email to make sure that he has access to the portal. Alright, now remember previously I said that it shows no courses loaded. So now I need to allocate a manual to the learner. So I'm going to show you how to quickly load that. So once we've now done the learner section, we're now going to go to the manual section. So the moment you click there, this is going to be a list of all the learners that you've purchased, of all the manuals that you've purchased from ITA. It goes back to 2019. So for the providers who's been with us for a while, all your manuals that you've purchased from us will be listed here. That's both printed and electronic manuals. And this is a central record for your manual stock. You'll see there where it says enrolled and download. So once you've linked a learner to these manuals, it will give the learner details there. So if you do a quick search on an ID number, you can see exactly which manual was allocated to that learner. Alright, so then the next thing that will happen is I'm going to show you how to actually link or how to allocate the manual to the learner. So you're going to do that by clicking there once again where it says allocate the manual. You're going to click there. So once again, for the purposes of this, I'm just going to quickly take you through back to the portal so that you can see exactly how that works. I'm going to just quickly jump to that section again. Alright, so I've obviously loaded some learners here. So I'm going to allocate a manual. And this is now where you're going to be allocating a manual to your learners. So first off, you're going to choose a type. Is it an electronic manual? Is it a printed manual? So for John, I'm going to give him an electronic manual because he decided he wants to go online. Then the next one, I'm going to click the manual. So these are all the manuals that we have available online. So for the purposes of this webinar, or for John Smith, we said that we're going to give him a handgun manual, and then you're going to choose a manual number. So all your stock that you have, available stock that you have, will be listed here. If you see that it says none, just make sure that you place an order with a manual department. It just means that you have no more manuals or no more electronic manuals in stock. So what you'll do is you'll just send dispatch an email with a manual order form, order the manuals, and they'll allocate that as soon as possible. Then you're going to allocate a manual number, and then all the learners that you've captured will be listed here. So for this scenario, we're going to choose John Smith. And then I need to link an assessor to, let me just see here, assessor is Joe Black. So make sure that whichever assessor you choose here, this is the assessor that will be marking the exam. So let's choose Joe Black. and then the enrollment date is the date that the learner enrolled. So I've already loaded a manual to Joe. So I was just going to show you this, and then the moment you've chosen a date, you're going to click submit, and then Joe will have, John will have access to the portal, to the courses, and he'll be able to take it from there. So I'm just going to jump back to the slide. And then this is John Smith's dashboard. So this is where he can see all of his courses. Like I said, I linked a handgun course to John Smith. So John Smith will click on view course. As soon as he's clicked on view course, he's going to have to finalize his profile. So he's going to make sure that his email address is correct, his cell phone number, and he's going to complete all the information that's listed there. And then right at the bottom, you're going to see that Joe will also, or John will also have to upload his ID document. If he doesn't upload his ID in this section, he won't be able to proceed with the next section of the course. So it's going to keep coming back to this page until he's uploaded his ID and he's clicked submit. So now the next section. Now John has uploaded his ID, he's captured his information. The next step is view course. Under this section, everything that the learner needs to do, this is his central hub. So it's where he will access everything that they need, from preparing for the classroom session straight through to viewing his results. Then we're going to scroll down. First thing that John will have to complete on the portal is his pre-assessment meeting form. So he's going to do that by clicking on the button that says Start Pre-Assessment Meeting. He's going to open that, and then there's going to be a prompt to come up to say which he needs to read and accept the terms and conditions. He's going to click on that, and then the questionnaire is going to open. So the questions that's in the pre-assessment meeting form is exactly as it is on the form, on the printed form. So he will complete that, and as soon as he's completed that section, he's going to click submit, and then it will take him back to the course section. Alright, now John has finished his pre-assessment meeting, and now he wants to download the manuals. I see that we have a question that came up. Would you mind, so what we'll do is we'll quickly handle the questions at the end of the webinar. I just want to make sure that we cover everything before we get interrupted with anything. I promise I'll look at this towards the end, and then I'll quickly answer the question. Alright, so now we are at the manual section. So what will happen is John will click on download. It's going to take him through to the terms and conditions. So he's going to read the terms and condition, and he's going to click accept, and then it will take him through to that section where it says email the manual. So the reason why we've done it that way is it helps us to keep the portal running efficiently, and it reduces any server overloads during the busy times. So the moment John clicks on that manual that says email online manual, he will get an email which he will be able to then open the link, and then he will be able to open the PDF document. So the email looks like this, and then what will happen there at the bottom, it says your manual is ready to be downloaded, and you're going to click on this link. The moment you click on this link, the PDF document will open. I'm going to show you what the manual looks like in a second. So this is the PDF document that will open on the learner screen. So you obviously see that there's a SCV number, so the learner will get his own unique SCV number like you get the printed manuals. There's electronic manual numbers, and then you're also going to notice that every manual, it's personalized with the learner's information. So the manuals can't be shared or distributed amongst learners. It's pre-printed with the learner's detail, which obviously also comes back to make sure that the learner's information is captured correctly, because if you captured it incorrectly, it's going to show on his manual what you typed. So just make sure that that information is also 100% correct. Alright, so John will now work through his manual, and when he's ready to start watching the videos, he would just scroll down and he was going to see this section. So for me, I think this is the most exciting part of the online portal. Guys, if you haven't watched this yet, I would encourage you to do so as soon as possible. These videos are amazing. It helps the learners so much. And some background: when we were busy shooting the videos, the guys who helped us to edit the videos said that he knows so much about firearms just by doing these videos. So really, it does help a lot. It supplements all the training manuals, and it reinforces the theory covered in the manual. So it helps the learner be better prepared for the classroom session. Um, what I do need to mention here is that the videos doesn't replace the classroom training. So it helps the learner to be better prepared for the classroom, and it might help you make your classroom session a little bit shorter, but it doesn't replace the classroom training. I just need to mention that. Alright, so now the learner has now watched the training videos and he's happy with the manuals. The next section is going to be another question that comes in just a second. The videos, unfortunately, the videos are not downloadable. You'll have to log into the portal to watch it. The very nice thing about it is that it is available permanently. So the learner can go back, he can watch it over and over again. If he's unsure about something, he can watch it in slow motion, he can watch it in fast forward, whichever is easier for the learner. So it's not downloadable, but it is available at any time. I wouldn't give the learner the opportunity to watch this in class. If he watched the video, I think he will have a pretty good understanding of what is covered in the manual. So I think it's going to make your session in the range a whole lot easier, because he's going to have a good understanding about the safety, the parts and functions, and all of that. Alright, then the next, and this is one of the other more exciting things, is the formative examination. So here what will happen is John is going to click on Start Formative Exam. It's going to give him a quick terms and conditions again, which he will read and accept, and then the questions will appear. What I would like to just mention here is that there's no time limit for the formative exam. So the learner can open and close it whenever he wants to. He can do this at his own pace. But the moment he's completed and he's ready with, or he's happy with his answers, he will click submit, and then that will take it through to the next section. The formative exam was designed to measure the learner's understanding before the classroom training. So when we get to the marking section and the feedback to the learner, I'll explain this in a little bit more detail. But the moment the learner clicked submit and he's happy with his answers and he clicked submit, the assessor, which was linked to the learner, is going to get a notification to say the learner has completed his formative exam and it can now be viewed. So what's going to happen is you're now going to, as the assessor, once you receive that email, you're going to jump back to your portal. And you are going to scroll down to where it says course enrollments. So what will happen is all the manuals that's linked to courses will show under this section. And this is a very nice tool, because it gives you it allows you to monitor the learner's progress. So it shows the learner that the date that the learner was enrolled. It shows the date that the videos was watched. It shows when he completed the exam, when he started, and when he submitted. So this is a very nice tool. What I would like to mention is, if you can't see the two buttons on the side where it says action, those two icons, if you can't see that, just make your screen a little bit smaller. It might mean that your view is just slightly too big. So just zoom out a little bit, and then you're going to see it's going to come up on the side. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take you just through to the portal again, so that you can see what the learner or what the assessor will do. Okay, so under course enrollments, we are going to quickly mark Joe's exam. So you're going to click on the microscope, And then you can see that he completed his formative exam. This is the date that he started, this is the date that he finished, as well as the times. So it's a very nice tool that you can use. So we're going to click on view. It's going to take you through to this page, and you're going to click on that review button on the side. And this is where you are going to start marking. So the first column, which shows the question, says explain the term use of a firearm, and it shows that it counts out of 3 marks. So the learner's answer is going to be in this column. And then you're going to look at the answer, and if you think that John deserves a 3 out of 3, you can give him a 3 out of 3. If you think that he didn't completely understand it, maybe give him a 2, and then explain to him where he went wrong. So if you think that he doesn't completely understand that specific section, help him to make sure that he understands where he went wrong. So give the learner feedback with regards to that specific question, and you can do that with every single question. The very nice thing about the portal is that all the questions that has multiple choice option marks automatically. So you'll see that I haven't even marked anything, but questions 2 to 5 was automatically marked. So it shows incorrect, 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 and it shows correct. I do see that there's a question that came up. So someone is asking, it doesn't show the answer. So the formative exam is set up exactly as the printed formative exam. So you're going to use your memo to mark this exam. The questions didn't change, so you're going to use your memo that you have, and there where it says explain the term use of a firearm, you're going to look at what the learner said, and based on that you're going to give the learner a mark. Just a second. Another question that came in. Okay, I understand what you're saying. So you're saying that it doesn't show where the learner can find the answer. So that's something that will add definitely a quick fix. So what we'll do is we'll make sure that between questions 1 and let's say 4, it shows you'll find these answers in module 1. Definitely something that we'll implement before the end of today. So don't stress about that. Alright, so now we've marked the exam, we've given the learner his feedback, and we're going to then click submit. The moment I click submit, what will happen, it's going to take the learner's, so the learner will get a notification to say that his exam is marked, and he will be able to log back into his portal and he can go view his answers. So I'm just going to quickly jump back to the presentation. Alright, so now John has logged back into his portal. This is what he will see from his side once the exam has been marked. So John completed his exam, but he was found not competent with his formative exam. So if he wants to review what you said, he's going to click on the button that says failed. So he's going to click there, and all the feedback that you've given John will be listed here. So if you said that you don't believe that he understands the concept of this question, he will be able to view what you've said. He can go back to the manual, he can go back to the videos to make sure that he completely understands what he needs to do here, and whenever he's ready, he can retry his formative exam. So after reviewing the feedback, the learner can continue, so he can continue to study, like you said, depending on if you've given him reference back to the manual, he can go back to the manual, he can go back to the video, and then whenever he's ready, he can click on the retry button. The purposes of the formative exam is to support learning. So it's not just there to give the learner a mark or to make him competent or not competent. The assessor feedback is really important for the learner to make sure that he understands all the content before he attends the classroom training. Alright, now he's finished with his exam and he's happy with his mark. When he scrolls down, you're going to see it says summative exam. So what I would like to mention here is that although this is visible, the portal, we're not offering the exam online. The summative exam must still take place at an ITA accredited training center. It must take place in the classroom and it must happen in the learner's own handwriting. This is to ensure that it helps ensure that the learner's identity, that there's not another learner sitting and completing the exam. It makes sure that the assessment is done without assistance and under the supervision of the assessor. And we also discussed this when we did the industry connection sessions earlier this year. You guys agreed that this section should take place at the training center under your supervision. All right, then he's going to scroll down, and then he's going to get the section that says practical assessment. So obviously, as you guys know, that the learner has now received his manual in digital form. So how does he now check what he will be assessed against? So as part of the transparency of ITA, what we've done is we've given the observation checklist and qualification sheet as a viewing option to the learner. So he can go view the qualification sheet, so that's going to say exactly what he will be assessed against, as well as the observation checklist. And then at the bottom you'll see there, that's the he can download the PFTC qualification sheet as well. We've given him the opportunity to download that, so when he downloads that, it takes him through to the actual qualification sheet. And then just remember that the practical training and the qualification sheet will take place at an NRCS and SAPS accredited range. So then the next section, which the learner will see, is to book a training session. So the learner will contact you. He will say to you that he's ready to attend his training session. You'll arrange a specific date for him, and then the next section, which I believe is should be a question on many people's lips, is the POE. So this is the. I just want to take a few minutes to quickly explain to you how the online assessment POE will work. So when you place an order for online manuals, these POEs will be included in your order. So ITA specifically designed these POEs to make sure, so it streamlines your assessment. So all your assessment documents is included in here. So as the learner is provided with an electronic manual, this POE will be given to the learner. So in this POE, you're going to get feedback and assessment summary, the qualification sheet, the observation checklist. All of that is already pre-printed in the assessment POE. And then because the pre-assessment meeting form and the formative exam is completed and saved online, these documents won't be included in the portfolio, although you're more than welcome to do that if you want. It's not necessary to include this in the POE. It is stored online on the portal, and it's there forever. It's securely stored, so please don't worry about that. But because those documents won't be included in the online POE, your POEs are significantly thinner. Just hold on a second. I see that there's a question that came in. Sorry, I see that there's two questions that came in from one of our training providers. Okay, so one of our training providers have asked that the learner contacts them directly. We are not at all, our contact number won't be there. So what will happen is the moment the learner clicks on the contact me section, your email address that's listed on your MOU. So the moment the learner clicks on contact the training center, that email will go directly to you. So whichever email address you listed on the MOU, that's the email address where the email will go to. So please don't worry about learners contacting ITA directly. We've made it super easy for the learner to make sure that those contact forms goes directly to you. Then there's another question. Just a second. We have someone that asked if the system is available for registered farm instructors, assessors, and moderators. Um, so the portal is already available for assessors and moderators, um, not for instructors though. So if you are a farm instructor but you're also an assessor, you will obviously have access to the portal. But it's important to note that you have to be linked to a training provider in order to have access. So we don't sell manuals to individuals, we sell manuals to the training providers. So if you are linked to a training provider, what will happen is you will have access to the portal through that training center. But it's very important just to make sure that your name and surname, all of that information is captured on the MOU, because we're not going to know to load you onto the portal if you're not loaded on the MOU or if you're not listed on the MOU. Then we have another question. This is a golden question. Sean, I'm going to get to your question right at the end. Please don't worry about that. I'll get to yours. And we have one more question. If you would like access to the portal, just send us an email and say to us that you would like to be loaded as a learner, or you would like to be loaded as a assessor or responsible person on the portal. Once again, please just make sure that it is listed on the MOU, because we will have to link you to a training provider. We can't load you onto the portal as an individual person. You're not going to see anything on your portal. All right, so the next thing that I just want to quickly touch, this is obviously one of the last sections that will come up on the portal, is you're going to now capture the learner's final results. So the learner he's attended his classroom session, he's done the summative exam, he's done his practical training, shot his targets, he was found competent, and now you want to load him onto the portal. So what will happen is you're going to go back to course enrollments and you're going to click on that edit button. So under actions, there's an edit button. You're going to click on that and it's going to take you through to this page. So under this section there where it says course status, you're going to click on the arrow and it's going to give you the opportunity to say competent or not competent. If the learner is competent, you're going to give a date that the learner was found competent. And when you scroll down a little bit, it shows that you'll be able to upload the signed certificate and the statement of results. You'll be able to upload the observation checklist and the qualification sheet, feedback and assessment summary. So you can upload all of these documents and it will be stored on the portal forever. So if after 6 years you don't have space anymore and you shred your portfolios, it's still saved on the portal. So it's a very nice tool to use. What I do just want to mention is that it's very important to still keep this portfolio on site for 6 years. So your online portfolio, please keep it online, or please keep it in hard copy in a stored cabinet. Then I want to quickly jump to one of the questions that we received. Someone asked, is the online formative exams only available to online manuals? And the very nice thing is it is not. It is available for printed manuals. it is available for electronic manuals. So there's three options. So the option one is the learner completes everything online. So he gets a printed electronic manual, he completes his exam online, everything is online. The second option is to do printed manual, printed formative exams, that type of thing. And then the last option that we have available is it can be a printed manual, but let's say the learner wants to have a printed manual but complete the exam online, he can also do that. So there's three options available. I think this is a very nice tool for everyone to use. It gives all the learners, it gives the older generation, it gives the younger generation, it gives everyone the opportunity to do the training that or in the method that they would want to. Then we have one more question that came up. Martin said that there's it likes that there's a mark allocation after each exam question. We have updated that yesterday. I think yesterday morning we updated that slightly. It was something that one of our providers reached out and we've updated that. We've now allocated the mark allocations on the legal exam as well. So when you go back there, you'll see that's there. All right, so now you've uploaded your learner, you've captured his information, everything is done. You've issued the certificates, and that's the last of it. I think the portal is going to make life a little bit easier for you. It gives you the opportunity to have a learner database. It gives the learner the opportunity to come to the classroom better prepared, which is not just a benefit for him or for her, it's also a benefit for the instructor who will be presenting class. You'll be able to go to the range with a learner who already has a good understanding of all the theory. Yeah, I think this will be the last step. I'm not sure if you guys have any other questions. I think I've covered most of the questions that's here. I'll give you a few minutes to ask me any other questions that you might have. What I would just like to mention, what I would like to end the webinar with is ITA also have the shooting association side. So if you've ever thought about starting your own club, ITA as a shooting association. So let's say, for example, you want to get so this is a very nice extra income that you can that you can get from using this system. So just like our ITA portal, we also have an ITA portal. So if you have shooting club members that you want to give membership cards to, occasional status, dedicated status, it's available on this portal. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if you are interested and you are thinking of starting a shooting club, please reach out. We're definitely there to assist you. Everything from the ITA portal straight through to the ITASA portal is all there. We've designed all of this to make your lives easier. I do believe that we're going online with quite a few things, and we want to make sure that if we do go online, that you safe, the learner safe, and that nobody is compromised in any way. I don't see any other questions, so I'm going to stop the webinar there. If you guys have any other questions with regards to the portal, with regards to association, please reach out. We're here to assist in any way possible. That's about it. I see that there's one more question. Someone has asked if the webinar will be available online. Yes, it will. So what we'll do, so this is automatically saved on our YouTube page. So if you haven't done so already, please go subscribe. It will be saved there, but what we'll also do is we'll share the link, the saved link on the training provider phone. I think there's one more question. Someone has asked, how does instructors and assessors watch the videos? What we'll do, so we'll give you access to a manual. will so what we'll have to do is we'll have to load you as a learner onto the portal. So even though you are an assessor or a learner, we'll upload you as a learner onto the portal, and then link or allocate the manual to your name, and then you'll be able to watch the videos from there. um, I think that is about it. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who attended. I'm really hoping that you guys are excited as we are with regards to the portal. There's always something in the horizon, so there's a few updates coming soon. We'll share that with you as soon as we've got something that we can share. We'll do so. Please keep an eye on the newsletters, and we hope that you have a fantastic day further. Someone asked, I missed the question. I just want to quickly read this question, just a second. Okay, so someone has said that he works for multiple training providers. So I just want to quickly jump back to the portal and show you um, what will happen. And this is the same as for the moderators. So the moderators and the assessors have the same view. So let's say, for example, the assessor goes to the learner section. Let's go to the course enrollment section. You'll notice there it says provider. So whichever training provider you are linked to as an assessor or as a moderator, all the learners will be listed under this section. It will just show which learners are linked to which companies. I hope that that answers your question. And I see there's one more question that came in just before we close off. Where do we access the link for the portal? It is available on our website. If you wanna, there's a shortcut to that. But what we'll also do is we've also seen it on some of our latest newsletters. But what we'll do is we'll share the link one more time on our training provider WhatsApp group. So someone has asked. He orders manuals from a registered facility. If you are, so once again, if you want to have access on the training provider's database or on the training provider's portal, you'll have to be loaded as a data capturer. But once again, it must be on the MOU. So if you are listed, please make sure that you reach out to the office so that we can update the MOU to make sure that we can give you access to that. So then you'll be able to upload your own learners, and you can also link the manuals to their names. And then someone has asked if is the manuals available for the combination manuals. Yes, it is. So it's available for legal, it's available for the 4 single unit standards, as well as the combination manuals, and it's available English and Afrikaans. So whichever learner you have, it's available. As a training provider. So if someone does not know how to log into, so just a reminder that if you log on to the portal, your username is your email address and your password is your ID number. If you're still not able to log in, it might mean that your membership is not up to date. So log in. If it says that you can't log in, just send us an email, and then what we'll do is we'll assist you from our side. I'm really hoping that I've covered all the questions. If there's anything that I missed, one of the providers asked, will the presentation be available on YouTube? Yes, it will. It records automatically and it will be available online. All right, I think that covers the questions that came in from the comment section. Guys, if I missed anything or you see that you're a little bit too shy to answer to ask the question, just give us a call. All the staff, me, and all the other staff have been trained up. Everybody will be able to assist you. Okay. Thank you guys so much for attending. We hope that you have a fantastic day further.